This is Magnus with a tutorial about how to script a double tap function into Lemur objects. Hi, a double tap function is just, well, as you can see here, it's just a very basic thing actually, but so useful, especially for Lemur, where this is not a usual function. Especially if you have a lot of objects like faders or knobs, this can come in very handy. I've seen some people explaining and trying this, but in my opinion, it's too inefficient and can be done with only a few lines of code. So nothing more to say, let's dive in. I will start with a new project here and connect my Lemur to the iPad. Well, first of all, I drag a fader and knob into my user interface. I'm going to begin with the slider and copy the function to the knob later. Let's make it a bit big so you can really see it. First, we create a script, which I will call double tab. In order for it to work, we need to specify its execution for sure, which can be found here. The execution will be on the variable, well, they call it expression z, which is there by default. I'm gonna show you what z actually does. So this is just a variable that stores the state if I touch the object or not. So whenever I touch the fader, this goes to 1. When I release it, it goes to 0. So nothing special about this, but very useful for us for sure. My double tap technique requires the inbuilt time function, which you can find here in the internal folder. Yeah, it's actually, let me show you this. You can't see it on the screen right now, but on the tablet you can see this is just, well, a number that goes up. At one point it resets to 0, I think, but it's just a time though. We need to refer something to this time, which will be an expression selected here, which I call last tab. Yeah, we need to refer this to the time variable in our script. With this in mind, let's start with our small script. For sure, we need to declare a conditional statement for this. I will just do a basic layout of this so you know how it works. I'm sorry, I'm not very used to this Windows computer, but OBS works on this. My Apple, well, doesn't support it. Never do updates. Yeah, in this conditional statement, we want to set the value of the slider or the object. The default value of 0.5 just means it goes into the middle. So 1 would be up, 0 would be down. This is the statement, and it just asks, well, if 1 is equal to 2, then, well, set it to 0.5. Now, 1 isn't 2, definitely not, but I will change this in a second. First, we write a little bit in the end. So, imagine I touch the fader now. Well, I do, don't imagine it, just look. Last tab will now hold one number in it, because when I release it, the script is being executed, and last tab now has one of these, well, weird numbers. But if I touch the fader again immediately, the time variable that I will write in here will have a slightly bigger number than our last tab. So this difference should become a very small digit. I figured out that 0.2 is a perfect value. Let me show you that it works now. Well, it just resets to 0.5 if I, well, double tap it. 0.2 is also a nice value because it doesn't change too much. Yeah, you can still do it, but if we do it more rapidly, it just resets. The great deal with this script is that it doesn't use the on-frame execution, which needs a lot of, lots of resources if you have many of them, as you saw in my first example. It uses a lot of resources, so, just do this. It's just 4 lines. People sometimes go crazy, but this works perfectly. Just put in a different value in here if you want to have, another value. And one last really, really nice tip for you is if we put a value in here, a new expression in the top folder of our project, for example, double speed, and we use this instead of this number, and we specify the value in here, you don't have to go into every single object every time just to change something. If you realize that, maybe it's too fast or too slow, just change it at this spot and everything will be changed. Because the nice thing also is just Control C, Control V, copy paste it to the knob object, and it also works for this now. Nice. And that's it. I hope this was helpful. Please tell me if I should continue with more tutorials, and thanks to the Lemur Facebook group for the request. Over and out!